To be talking about BYOD, or Bring Your Own Device, and One-to-One Initiative. By the end of this lesson, students will be able to explain the educational trend of BYOD and one-to-one initiatives, list the hardware most frequently used by schools in a one-to-one environment, describe how digital natives are impacting and changing the classroom environment, and students will also have an understanding of how the pre-service teacher will integrate BYOD and one-to-one initiatives in his or her classroom if their school adopts such a principle. You have also been provided with a handout. Please fill out the answers as you go. First, we are going to discuss BYOD and one-to-one initiative, what they are, and the advantages and disadvantages of both. BYOD is when students use their own smartphones, tablets, or laptops to complete class projects or access learning resources while in school. One-to-one initiative is when the school district provides each student with a device to complete class projects and access learning. BYOD has many advantages. With BYOD, students provide their own devices so school districts do not have to pay for the expensive technology. These savings could then be used towards other technologies such as interactive whiteboards. Another advantage is that students generally already know how to use their own devices and do not need training on them. BYOD can also be implemented faster than the one-to-one initiative because most students already have the device. BYOD also has its challenges. One of the biggest challenges with BYOD is equality. Some students will have nicer devices than others. This means that some kids might be teased for not having the latest technology. Also, not all students will have a device. Schools could supply students with a device, but students might be self-conscious about using school-provided devices. A wide range of devices will also mean that teachers will have to be knowledgeable about a wider range of devices. And they will also have to make their lessons compatible with all of these devices as well. One-to-one initiative has its advantages as well. Many schools that offer devices for students ensure that students have similar devices so that all students are equal. Also, with all students having the same device, students and teachers will only have to master the use of one type of device. This also means that students will have the same software and applications, which means it's easier for teachers to create lesson plans. One-to-one initiative has its disadvantages too. School districts will end up spending a lot of money providing all students with devices. Also, this initiative takes longer than BYOD to implement. Another disadvantage is that students may damage or steal school-owned devices. These days, classrooms are full of digital natives, students who have been exposed to technology their whole lives. Here's a short video about digital natives and being a digital citizen. are learners that expect to be able to access their smartphones and tablets all the time. These students also want to customize their learning in a style that's all their own and to go at their own pace. The change in technology has been so fast that many schools have been unable to keep up with the pace of technology. Therefore, students are looking to bridge the gap by bringing their own devices to use for their learning. All schools with BYOD or one-to-one initiative need to have a device policy. The main concern among teachers is that the presence of electronic devices in the classroom will promote distraction on the part of students. Although certain sites and applications may be blocked, some students are likely to find ways around these restrictions. Therefore, cyber safety is also a concern. A way to deal with these concerns is to have a clear school policy. Policies must be clear in order to prevent misconduct. Schools often have very specific policies about respectful use of electronics in the classroom. Also, some websites are banned, such as Twitter or Facebook, because they cause distraction. Students may also be required to sign agreements about device use, and if students fail to follow the rules, they might be banned from the BYOD program, either for a short time or permanently. Another concern is that students and teachers may not know how to properly use the devices. You may spend a majority of your time with students unable to load apps or unable to connect to Wi-Fi. A way to fix this problem is for schools to consider training sessions for students and teachers on how to use popular devices. Also, as a teacher, getting to know the school's IT staff is a good idea. There are many different types of devices that may be brought by students for BYOD or bought by schools for one-to-one initiative. These may include laptops, which are portable computers, which come in many different types and brands. Tablets, a mobile computer with a touchscreen instead of a keyboard, may also be used. Some popular tablets include the iPad, Kindle, Surface, Nook, Samsung Galaxy Note. Smartphones, which are cell phones that have more advanced computing and connectivity, may also be used. Some popular smartphones include the iPhone, Samsung Galaxy, Nokia Lumia, and the Google Nexus. There are some things to keep in mind when using BYOD or one-to-one initiative in the classroom. BYOD can change how a classroom operates. Instead of a teacher being the center of learning, learning becomes student-centered and teachers become more of a mentor or a guide. With BYOD, students also learn how to research and create their own learning. Educators must provide the means for them to gain these skills and provide assessment that shows the achievement of the individual. Educators also must be willing to learn. They need to get the skills needed to keep up with changing technology and also keep up with the digital competence of their students, who are digital natives. There are several musts for teachers that are in a classroom where BYOD or one-to-one initiative is going on. First, they must make realistic expectations. You need to think of what you want to get out of BYOD. Trying to improve your lesson with interactivity, multimedia, and access to a wide variety of information will be easier than teaching students a specific concept or app or web tool. Teaching students a particular concept with a specific tool isn't impossible. It just takes more planning and managing your expectations of what it will involve. Also, teachers must plan thoroughly. You could have the best lesson plan ever and a really awesome app to share. However, the next day, the day of the lesson, the internet might be down or students might have trouble with the app. That's why it's always good to have a plan B. Also, in a one-to-one initiative classroom, specific apps and sites are awesome. However, with BYOD, students are working on a variety of different devices, and not all apps are universal. You're better off using devices for more universal purposes, such as research. There are a ton of different ways that you can use BYOD or one-to-one initiative to enhance your classroom. One of these ways is engagement. You could use engagement by taking a poll of the classroom using websites such as polleverywhere.com. This way, students are more likely to participate because it's anonymous, unlike when students raise their hand to answer a question. Communication is also a good way to use BYOD or one-to-one initiative in the classroom. Things such as group texting or cooperative learning and communication with others is using apps such as Sketch. The use of a camera is also available to students with BYOD or one-to-one initiative. Students are able to take pictures of their class assignments instead of spending all the time writing it down on paper. This saves paper and class time as well. Organization is another benefit of BYOD and one-to-one initiative. You could have students use the calendar, alarm, reminders, or notes apps to keep track of their assignments and when they are due. Taking notes is also made easier with BYOD or one-to-one initiative. Not only can you use the camera to take pictures of notes or class assignments, but you can also use apps such as Evernote to take notes or EasyBib to create bibliographies. Ebooks are a huge benefit of BYOD or one-to-one initiative. Students don't have to carry around heavy books. They can also make annotations and look up word definitions as they read. Making flashcards and quizzes is another benefit to these programs. You can use applications such as StudyBlue, study cards, or quiz cards to use pre-made flashcards or quizzes, or to make your own. Research is another huge benefit of BYOD or one-to-one initiative in the classroom. You can research things quickly by Googling things, or you can use BYOD or one-to-one to do whole research projects in the classroom. As you can see, there are many ways that BYOD can enhance the classroom. That is all for this screencast, and thank you for listening.